today, but I just wanted to say that one more time. But he's got both your links in the chat here. Do you guys want to talk about your channels a little bit before we start?
I'll let you go first, Quanah.
Okay, thanks. Hey guys, I'm Quanah. I have a channel called Her Real Review. Been doing this YouTube thing now for 6 years, I think. Very eclectic taste, a lot of horror, a lot of feel-good family stuff, just whatever pretty much I can get my hands on. I pretty much watch, I grew up with TV babysitting me, so I watch everything.
Awesome. What made you want to start a channel?
My husband was getting tired of having to pretend to listen to me talk about movies.
I love that.
Because most of the time he's like, okay, sure. So I'm like, okay, I need to talk to someone. And I was watching This Is Us, and there was nobody at my school who was like really into it. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to start a YouTube channel and talk to strangers on the internet. And it's so good.
That's awesome. The show This Is Us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah.
I got you watching that for a bit.
I binged that a while ago. Yeah, that's a good show.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Jimmy, talk about your channel.
So it's half movie reviews and half geeky physical media, like showcases and unboxings. Like, so for the movie review half, it's fairly straightforward. It's just me, reviewing movies. So if you're into stuff like that, check it out. For the physical media unboxing stuff, if you're wanting to see someone who spends a stupid amount of money on stupid crap like this and this, like who doesn't want a life-size xenomorph head filled with the actual Blu-ray discs? I mean, that's just, to me, that seems like a no-brainer. And I managed to dig this out just for the stream. So this is my collection of The Fly. So this is a DVD set that's got like a real, I mean, the camera doesn't show you how flimsy and how cheaply made this is, but it's basically it's plastic. The little hologram thing here is just falling away. But on the inside, I'll just pop it open, is a DVD box set of all versions of The Fly. So you've got like the original one from like the 50s, you've got the 2 sequels from the 50s, and then the one we're watching and its sequel. So they're all in here as well. So starting the channel was at least in part a way to justify my collection, where I was like, well, if I've got a YouTube channel, then it's okay to keep buying this stuff, surely. And that's genuinely part of the reason.
That's hilarious. You gotta have something new to show off, right?
Exactly. It was like, I don't want to have to buy a Talk to Me hand. I have to buy it for my channel.
I love that.
Yeah, that's definitely us.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. If everyone in the chat is not subscribed to these two lovely people, please go and do so. Hop out of the chat, go sub, and come on back. But yeah, we're going to watch The Fly. This is a first-time watch for me. How many times have you watched The Fly?
I've probably seen it 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you guys? Quanah?
I have never seen it in its entirety, just bits and pieces, like here and there on like Sci-Fi Channel, but never the whole thing. But then now I have a greater appreciation of Jeff Goldblum, so I'm like, okay, yes, I need to watch The Fly.
Yeah. Okay.
You get a sexy Jeff Goldblum in this one.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum is sexy in everything he's in.
Always sexy.
There's no such thing as a non-sexy Jeff Goldblum. Come on, let's be honest.
True. He's a fine wine.
Jimmy, how many times have you seen The Fly?
I would say more than 5, less than 10, maybe 10. About 8 to 10 times probably. I saw it a couple of times, like just when it broadcast on TV as a child, when I was far too young to be watching a movie like The Fly, and then every physical media release that's came out, I've watched it at least once from then. So I've got the DVD from that box set I just showed you there. I've also got the is it here? Did I bring it in? Oh yeah, it's here. Mm-hmm. So the Blu-ray copy, this one here, if it'll focus on it, that's part of the It's part of the Orlando Arocena Steelbook art collection. There's like about 15 or 18 of them, where it's kind of all designs like this. Movies like 28 Days Later and Young Frankenstein, The Fly, and mostly horror. And then I've got a regular, like, non-steelbook Blu-ray copy that I couldn't actually find to watch today. So, yeah, I would say 8 or 10 times probably. A couple of times as a kid, and then each time I'll have bought a physical media copy, I'll watch it again. It's probably one of the movies where I'm like, that's they could do a 4K release of this. Like, it's the Blu-ray copy, the transfer's nothing. It's not terrible, but it's nothing outstanding. But I reckon if they find a good quality negative, there's enough of a cult following, they could absolutely bring this out with like a, cleaned up 4K version, and from an Arrow or a Shout Factory or something like that. I could see that being quite a good release.
I know. I just saw today Second Sight announced that they're going to be releasing The Brood and Scanners on 4K.
Oh, nice! I didn't see that news. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I wonder if they're going to do like a nice Cronenberg run.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
It would be. I know. I haven't seen the second Fly movie. Is it like the sequel to this movie? Is it worth checking out?
I mean, yeah, just so you can, say you've watched it. It's nothing. It's not great. Obviously, it's not nowhere near as good as the first one. There's some interesting moments in it, but it's very much like a kind of like a retread of the first one, but with less famous people in it. Like, it's Eric Stoltz is in it. I don't want to. Because Sam, you've not seen it, so I don't want to say too much to spoil the first movie. But it is a continuation of the story, but with not the same actors.
Okay, I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never actually sat down and watched it.
Yeah. I mean, I would watch it once, but then you're never going to watch it again. Like, I'll watch The Fly multiple times, but I would never. Other than maybe when I got that box set, I wouldn't have sat and watched the sequel more than once, unless I was doing like a full-on marathon of it.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to say what's up to the chat, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah.
I already said hello to the birthday boy, Ryan. We've got Gizmo here, always got something long and weird to say. I'm just going to say, hey, what's up, Gizmo? Thanks for joining us. Gizmo's from Norway. Hey, Noel. We got Big Rod. Hello. Peyton's here. Hey, Peyton.
How we doing, everybody?
Corey.
Hey, Corey, how we doing?
And we got Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
So also, I don't know if this movie's available to stream anywhere.
So it is in the UK. It's on Disney Plus because of the different international rights. Like the vast majority of Fox movies are on Disney Plus in the UK, but I know in North America it's different with Hulu and whatnot. Like, we don't have Hulu here. We have, like, on the Disney Plus app, there's like a tab called Star, which is basically Hulu for us. So most Fox movies we get as part of Disney Plus. So I'm sure it's on that to stream.
That's kind of like us. We don't have Hulu in Canada either. We have Disney Plus would have what was on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything just goes straight to Disney Plus. It doesn't go to Hulu.
Yeah. Kwana, are you in the States?
I am in the States.
Okay.
It's not streaming anywhere for like a part of the streaming service packages, only for rent. So you have to rent it everywhere. It was, and I want to say like maybe 2 months ago, it was available. Maybe they suspected that we were going to be doing this and they decided to pull it.
Of course.
Look at our powers combined. But it is available to rent on Amazon right now for like only 99 cents. So
Okay. Not too bad.
No, it's good.
$1. Hello to another Ryan in here, Ryan Olchow. Jamie is also putting your guys' links in the chat. So you guys are awesome.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yes, thank you, Jamie.
Ryan says he just subbed to both of y'all.
Much appreciated, my man.
First time watching The Fly. The film is so important to me that I counted up there with first day of school, losing my virginity and getting my first job in the industry. Canadian masterpiece.
That's high praise. They should, if they do bring out an all singing, all dancing 4K re-release, they should put that quote on the box.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
The Fly is as good as losing my virginity. That's going to sell some copies. That's going to sell some
Oh
copies.
yeah. Mockingbird, hello. Thanks for joining us. Jeff Goldblum is perfection. Still never actually seen The Fly though.
There you go.
The Fly 2 isn't bad. I think it's underrated a bit. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's not terrible. It's just it's. I think The Fly it's such a seminal piece from the time, like both for the director, for Jeff Goldblum as well. Whereas the sequel, it could never possibly hope to match that. It's kind of always, as an adult, whenever I think about The Fly, it kind of reminds me of The Thing, in that it's a remake of like a 50s kind of almost campy horror movie made by a master filmmaker in the 80s that then that surpassed the original. Like, I remember as probably a teenager having my mind blown that there was that the Thing and The Fly were both remakes of 50s movies, and I was like, oh, that'll be interesting to watch the original ones. And then you're like, oh, okay, these are very much of their time.
Have you seen the original of The Fly?
I think I started it. I don't think I finished it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. I put it on when I got that box set just to say I've watched it, but it was like I was not paying attention to it too much. Similarly, when I watched the original version of The Thing from Another World, it was just like, wow, that's like, when you think people who watched that at the time maybe thought this was amazing and thought it was like, of its time,
Scary.
a masterpiece. And then a generation later it gets remade, and the people from that generation think the same thing about the remake, so much so that I would venture to say that the vast majority of like casual movie fans might not even be aware that The Thing and The Fly are remakes of campy 50B movie horrors,
Yeah.
Definitely.
And now I'm over here trying to like find the short story and see how long it is. Maybe I can force my students to read it.
Yeah.
Give me
What
an
do you
excuse
teach?
to have a movie day. I teach grade 12 English and
Okay.
sometimes film when I can get students to sign up for it. But
That's cool. That's cool. Translate that for the UK for me. So grade 12, what age is that?
That's like seniors, like the highest level in private school, I guess, in the UK. Because
Right.
private school is our public school, right? So
Yeah. So what age are the kids in 12th grade?
17 and 18.
Ah, okay, right.
Yeah. So I can get away with a little bit of like
Yeah.
slightly naughty stuff sometimes.
We're almost adults.
Yeah.
I love The Fly. I hope Sam likes it. I hope so too. I saw Nosferatu today and I wasn't too happy with it, honestly. I know I'll probably get hate for that. And it was pretty split with people. It was pretty split.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've not seen Nosferatu yet. I'll hopefully get to see it this week. I probably won't like it because, and again, I'll probably catch it for this as well. I've not liked any of Robert Eggers' movies that much, to be honest. The Northman's probably the one that I was okay with, but like I haven't been a huge fan. The Lighthouse was just, again, I'll catch it for this, but to me that's one of those movies that's like weird for the sake of weird. Like it looks very stunning and striking, but I was just like, this is not a movie I'm ever going to want to watch again. The Witch, I've only seen that once when it came out, and I wasn't that enamored with it. The Northman, yeah, I watched it once. I'll never probably watch it again, but I'll go and see Nosferatu, and but from what I've read online, I think like if you like that director's back catalogue, you'll like this even more. And if you didn't, you won't. So that's why I've not been that keen to go and see it. Plus, it didn't actually come out in the UK until I think January 2nd, like last Friday, something like that. So it was like a whole week after you guys in North America got it. So like a lot of the reviews had already flooded the internet before it was even released.
Quana, did you see Nosferatu yet?
I haven't seen it yet. With the holidays, I kind of got roped into just watching family stuff. So we went to go see Sonic 3.
Okay, cool.
I haven't had a chance to go to the movies by myself. I did see Better Man, but I didn't get a chance to see Nosferatu. No one wanted to send me for free. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to wait till I can sneak out the house on my own.
Okay.
I'm curious, not to like sidetrack the video, but just because you mentioned Better Man, Quana, I'm curious. So did you guys? So you're in the States, Quana, and you guys, Sam and Brendan, you're in Canada, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
So were you guys aware of Robbie Williams and Take That at all before this movie came out?
I am a unicorn because I knew who Robbie Williams was, but I listened to everything and watched everything. So I didn't know him from Take That. I knew him when he went solo,
Right.
but I used to watch like all of the, like when they used to have like that on satellite, they would have like MTV, and then they would have like MTV Europe and like what was it called, like Wow Music or Now Music or something like that, like all these different music channels that would play like international hits and stuff like that. And I had a huge Spice Girl phase, so that kind of like seconded into like UK stuff. And I was like, oh well, I mean, yeah, let's just. So I did know who he was, but not the earlier stuff, not till the movie.
Sam, Brendan, what about you guys? Were you even aware of who? So that's really interesting because in the opposite fashion from Nosferatu, Better Man came out in the UK on Boxing Day on December 26th. So we got that a week before the wide release in North America. But I was really curious to see how it would, because I think it's a brilliant film.
It's so good.
But I was really curious how it would perform outside of the UK and Europe, because in the UK, the guy was in the 90s and in the early 90s like a megastar, like the biggest selling artist, held records for like selling out concerts and whatnot, that was only just recently broke by Taylor Swift, I think 2 years ago. So he was a huge star in the UK, but I don't think he was known in North America really at all. So I'm still curious as to see how that would translate to the box office, because if you're in the UK and you hear there's a Robbie Williams biopic coming out, you think, oh, I remember Robbie Williams. And then you see that he's played by a CGI chimp. You're like, that's weird, but okay. But if you don't know who Robbie Williams is, and then all of a sudden there's a biopic of this singer that you've never heard of, but he's played by a CGI chimp, like, I was just really curious how your average North American moviegoer would respond to that.
I didn't even know there was a movie called Better Man.
I talk to you about it all the time. Sometimes I talk to you about stuff and it just goes in one area or not the other. So like Sam likes music, so I'm like, have you ever who's this Robbie Williams guy that I keep getting this trailer for, like this movie? It just pops up on my feed. I'm like, it looks really good, and I'm like, I feel like an idiot because I don't know who this guy is. Like, can you sing me anything that he does? She's like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, oh. Okay.
And I forgot we even brought it up.
Yeah. So I went through the one day during my Christmas break, and I was just kind of listening through some of the songs. I didn't really get that many that I liked or anything that caught me right away. I think there was one song, but I'm so curious because I think having him as the star and as a CGI chimp is such a cool idea, and just a different way to do these music biopics that all kind of run the same and story wise, right? Like, feels like almost everyone is kind of generally the same. So I'm super curious. I have not got to go see it in theaters yet, but I don't know if I will or not, but I am curious to see it.
It was fantastic. As someone who only, I will say, I wasn't I was a super fan. I knew when people were talking about it on TikTok and were like, we don't know who this guy is. And I was like, oh no, I kind of know who Robbie Williams is. I had a reference point, definitely. And I remember the Millennium song and things like that. But I took my niece to go see it Wednesday. It was, it's wild. So I think really for those of us who are horror film fans, especially, it's so cool because it's a biopic, but it's weird and it's wild and you can't take your eyes off the screen. And so I hope that people embrace it because it was really, really good.
Yeah, it was it's I haven't done my top movies of 2024 yet, but it'll make the top 5 for sure.
Yeah. I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah,
and there were a lot of cool movie references too.
Yeah.
in there. So that was really fun. Like I was like, oh, that's a reference to Macbeth, like to 2015 Macbeth. That's really cool. Like, so that was really cool looking for like those Easter eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Gizmo just said the song Rock DJ. That was the one song I listened through like
Yes,
all
so
the way
that's,
through.
Yeah, that's in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Okay. I don't know the song. Maybe if I heard it. Though.
I don't. It's nothing I'd ever heard before, but it,
Oh.
like the beat got me, and I was like, yeah, let's jam this.
Okay.
So might become a Robbie Williams fan after watching the movie.
I'm curious now. I'm gonna have to watch a trailer after we're done here. I'll say hey to Ashley here quickly before we start. Hey Ashley,
How we doing?
thanks for popping in. And okay, I guess we'll watch The Fly.
Yeah. So I did press play and I have it queued up.
Where's it queued up?
Oh,
It's really bright.
I hit the wrong button there.
Yeah, you guys just got a lot brighter.
Yeah. There we go. So
Okay, I'm on the Fox logo as well. I've got it paused.
Yeah, I am 6 seconds in.
6.
Let me have a look here. Yep, I'm at 5 seconds. That's not bad.
Yeah, close enough. Did you guys hear that Fox logo music when you press play
Yes.
on our end? Hopefully
Did
you
we?
can't hear the movie.
It
Hopefully
Did we-
didn't go all the way in now.
Okay. We'll see what happens here.
Okay.
Quana, do you have it queued up?
I am good.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll press play in 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
Let us know if ours just like destroys here.
So we could hear it quite loud there, but I think you've just turned it down, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we turned it down.
Yeah.
That was really loud on our end too.
That's all good. That's all good. Just as I mentioned the thing earlier on, there's even like the opening title card is very similar to the thing. I wonder if it was the same effects team that did that worked on that as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched any of the special features on. I got the Scream Factory box set when they put theirs out. So I haven't watched any of the special features on here yet.
Of The Fly.
Can you turn it down a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm scared we're gonna. Even Jamie's saying if there's too much audio, we'll get struck for copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have subtitles on?
I can.
I think that would be best.
Yeah, I end up when I'm doing watch-alongs, I just end up putting the subtitles on,
Yeah.
or put cans on if you really need to hear what's happening.
I did not know Gina Davis was in this.
Oh yeah, she says the best line of the movie.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, now I'm going to need to think if I can guess what the best line of the movie is. I don't want to spoil it, but is it the one towards the end?
Maybe it's the tagline too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of my mind went to more of a childish zone.
Yeah, everyone's
When
telling
they're,
us to put subtitles on.
when they're sharing a moment, shall we say, and she says something that's quite funny. God, look how young they both are there.
I know.
Something that I like about this movie as well is it's a straight 90 minutes. Like there's no wasted energy. There's no slow scenes. Like it just, other than like the opening titles that we just saw there, which are only like what, a minute long. Like it just goes straight into it. Like they're there, they meet, you get their characters right away. It doesn't, and the movie just starts and it just kind of it just doesn't let you go for like exactly 90 minutes. I think
I know.
I'm not against like 3-hour movies, but like sometimes it's okay for movies to be just 90 minutes. Like that's okay.
I'm such a fan of a good 90-minute movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Corey, actually, if Corey's still watching, that's something I've talked about with Corey on, I think, one of his streams. Like, I guess at a certain stage at night where you want to put a movie on, but you don't have time to watch a 2.5 hour movie. Like, as much as I love like Endgame, I don't have 3 hours. Like, if it's 1 a.m. and I want to put a quick movie on, like, I'm not going to be watching Endgame, you know. But a quick 90-minute movie like The Fly, that's on that list. Like 90-minute. In fact, I think there's a podcast in the UK that's quite popular. I think it's 90 minutes or less. And that's basically what they get, what those guys chat about, just like brilliant movies that are 90 minutes or less. Because, as again, not to use Endgame as an example, Oppenheimer, there's a good example as well. You know, I really liked Oppenheimer, but you know, it's 3 hours plus. You're not going to watch that like late night for a quick one. But something like The Fly, definitely, because, you know, 90 minutes or less.
I hate long movies.
I was struggling with that decision last night too, because it was like 7:30 and I'm like, I couldn't the app I was using to watch a movie before was down, so like I had to find a new movie to watch and I just couldn't find one. So I unfortunately put on like the new Beverly Hills Cop, which was 2 hours, but I was like, I'll just watch half and watch half later. But it just kills the momentum.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably a good example. The new Beverly Hills Cop, it was okay, but it could easily. I remember thinking that when I watched it. I think it comes in at like what 2 hours and 5, maybe 2 hours and 10, like including the credits. That could easily have been 20 minutes shorter, and it would have been that little bit more enjoyable, I reckon. Like, you know, the first two Beverly Hills Cop, they didn't feel too long. The third one we probably shouldn't talk about because it's terrible, and then that fourth one, you know. I mean, it's hard to kind of differentiate how much of it is nostalgia that's fueling your enjoyment of it. But yeah, a third sequel, the fourth in the franchise, you know, 40 years later, it doesn't need to be 2 hours and 10 minutes long. Like, it's okay to be 90 minutes, 100 minutes. Just get in, get out, leave it enjoyable.
Yeah, like so far, all I'm getting is a lot of nostalgia throwback jokes from like his like delirious days and stuff like that, which I appreciate because I'm like big fan of that, and it's nice to see that. But it's like you said, nostalgia and how much you enjoy it there.
Yeah.
What was it about the 80s where every movie had someone living in a warehouse? I feel like that's the 80s aesthetic. Everybody had. I grew up thinking I was going to get an apartment in a warehouse because of all the 80s movies.
Yeah. And like it'd be like an industrial. This is something that I always wondered, not living in the States, not living in North America. I was just thinking, like, the flats, well, we call them flats, but you guys call them apartments. But I was like, do the lifts just like open up into your living room? Like, that was just, you know, it's just like this big industrial like metal door that's in a big like industrial service lift, and you open it and you're in your living room, or you're in the bedroom. And I'm like, does that not mean anyone from the street could just like walk into your living room?
Yeah, I've never seen one of those in real life. I've never known anyone.
So the movies lied.
The movies lied.
Music too long these days. I always have to pee right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that the movie's too long. It's just because they're bad. We're studio apartments for all the rage back then.
I feel like studio, like industrial, like they're all like artists and stuff that use like stuff like that. At least in the movies.
Showing some ankles.
Yeah.
It's the 80s. Everybody was so conservative back then.
Nosferatu definitely could have been trimmed, Ryan.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make me want to rush out and see
Go
it.
see it. Yeah.
You know? Again, based on the other movies that guy's done, they've all been, you know, they've not been short, at least.
Mm-hmm. They're quite slow, in my opinion.
I appreciate that. I'm very much, I think, in the minority with not liking Robert Eggers movies, but yeah. Again, like I don't know who made the comment. It's not that the movies are too long. It's just that they can be boring. You know, like a 3-hour movie can be, you know, great and zip along at a fast pace, and then a 2-hour movie can feel like, you know, a snail's pace.
Yeah.
She looks like a baby.
Yeah. She was probably like what, early 20s when she made this?
Probably mid 20s. Like, this is after. Is this after Beetlejuice?
She would have been 20. No, wait a second. No, I'm lying. 30. 30.
Yeah. So I think it came out. It came out in the UK in 1987, I think. So it was probably out in the States, North America, in I think
Wow.
1986.
That means that she was 40 when she did The Long Kiss Goodnight. Would have
Yeah,
never thought-
yeah, that sounds about right. That's a good movie. I enjoy that movie.
So good.
Something that like it's funny when you watch a movie that you've seen multiple times at various stages in your life. Like you pick up on things that you didn't pick up on when you were younger. Like watching this as a kid, like the kind of the flirting and the sexual tension between them is completely lost on you because you know you're 10 years old. You don't know what any of that means. But then when you watch it as an adult, this entire like extended opening scene, it's a really good. I don't want to say it's a masterclass in like subtle exposition, but they're getting away. They're getting in so much exposition about like the tech of the kind of the transportation device, but that's almost like the subtext to the scene of them basically just flirting with each other. Like, I mean, they've just met. She's back at his mental apartment with the slidey door, and she's giving him her tights, his nylons, for this experiment. Like, she's not going to be doing something like that if she's not attracted to this guy. That's a good flirty move that she's doing there. And so you buy into their relationship and their attraction to each other, their chemistry right away. And that's something that when you watch this as a kid, because you're just watching it as a straight horror movie, that goes completely over your head. But then when you watch it as an adult, you get even more out of the movie because you're buying into their chemistry even more because of what they're doing. But as well as that, they're giving you all of the exposition about this is how the technology works and the biomaterial and it has to be organic and da 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 da.
Ryan just chimed in. It's like, I love Jenny's Scottish accent. Everyone's like, just keep talking.
Thank you very much. Again, if it gets too difficult to understand, let me know and I can slow it down.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I'm actually understanding. We're good.
How did I miss that they were married
In real life?
in real life?
Yeah, they got
Oh,
married.
seriously?
Yes. I guess they met on the movie and fell in love, I guess.
Huh. Are they still married?
No. Not at all. I think it only lasted for 4 years.
Okay.
I mean, in 4 years in Hollywood years, that's like what? That's like dog years. That's like 28 or something like that.
Mhm.
But again, that probably goes back to what I was talking about with the chemistry that the two have. Like, I mean, they obviously clearly did fall in love and got married. Like, their chemistry with each other is very palpable right away.
Yeah.
Mhm. I like how you're talking about how they're flirting and stuff like that. It's such a good way to tell the story and keep it moving with all this information being thrown at you. And
Yeah,
because I took Sam to go see Crimes of the Future, and you're talking about how well it's paced at a 90. Like this is a pace at a 90 minutes. Talk about like a slow crawl for Crimes of the Future
I hated
from
that movie.
Cronenberg.
is that the one with Aragorn? What's his name?
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen. Yeah, I've not seen that one.
Yeah,
Isn't Kristen Stewart in that too?
yeah, Kristen Stewart's in it as well.
Would you recommend it?
I think it's worth watching once. Sam
Yeah.
won't.
I literally got up and used the bathroom because I was bored. I've
That's
never
one of
done
those
that in a movie.
I'm not even sure if it got a cinema release in the UK. And it's not been on any of the streamers yet. But if and when it does drop on Netflix or Disney or Prime, that's something I probably would check out. Yeah, just to kind of because Cronenberg doesn't make. It's not like he makes a movie every year, So you can easily keep the Cronenberg list up to date. But I do need to catch that one to tick it off the list, so to speak.
Yeah, that's why I went to go see it in theaters because I was like, it's a Cronenberg movie and it's a horror and it's in theaters right now. I'm like, I'm going to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gizmo, the painting, is not a naked woman. She has a dress on. He says the video is going to get taken down because of the painting. I understand Jimmy perfectly. My great grandma came from Scotland and she had a very thick accent. Oh, nice.
Nice. Whereabouts in Scotland did you come from, Jamie?
you say, "Every man dies, not every man really lives"?
I could, but I would not be doing the Braveheart line justice. So I'll reserve that one for a special moment. Oh, I've been to Lochleven many times. It's not too far from me, maybe about hour and a half. But to be fair, anywhere in Scotland is only like 4 hours from me. It's a tiny country. Like you can
I'd love to go
drive.
to Scotland.
You can drive top to bottom in like 6 hours, and you can drive east to west in like 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very small country. There's only something like I think 6 or 7 million population. It's tiny. There's more people in London than there is in Scotland. Here's a random stat as well that I just found recently. Was on a show. There's something like 8 million people commute to Manhattan every day, something like that. And I was like, that's more people that live in the whole country of Scotland. Like more people commute to Manhattan than live in this country.
That's wild.
Wow, that's wild.
But as much as I like Manhattan, I would not like to live there. I do like Scotland as a country to live. It's very pretty. So do you guys remember what would the obviously the answer for you, Sam, is no. But do you guys remember the first time you saw this movie?
Oh, good question.
I think I might have seen it at an early age. I have a feeling that this was like a VHS tape in my grandmother's collection.
Mhm.
So probably at a fairly young age, because I grew up with like my uncles are all like really close in age, so they were showing me horror movies at a pretty young age. So like I've probably seen it at a young age, and then probably once mid high school, I would say.
What about yourself, Clara?
I feel like it was something that my babysitter's house that she used to like put on like the Sci-Fi Channel a lot. And I remember this and a bunch of like, it's just like this weird collage of different movies that I remember bits and pieces from like the age of 7 to 9. She never put on anything that was like truly child appropriate. It was just always like these old kind of or not really old at the time, but like these sci-fi type of movies. And I guess this would have been like 89 and 90. So this would have been probably something she put on around then.
Right. That's good. I think for me, this is one of those movies where the first time I saw it, it would have been the television version. So it would have either been watching it as it broadcast on TV, but probably not. It was probably one of those ones where we would, my brother and I, we would, you'd set the timer on your VHS, on your VCR to record like the movie that was going to be on at like 11 p.m. on Channel 4. So you'd record that, the TV version. So the first version I saw would have been the edited for TV version. And you don't know it at the time, you don't know it as a kid because, you don't understand like TV edits versus like, theatrical releases versus VHS and whatnot. But so the first time I saw it and then the subsequent 2, 3, 4, 5 times I would have watched it, the scene at the end, without spoiling it yet for you, Sam, there's a fair bit of violence in it. None of that was in the was in the TV version that I saw. So when I first got this, probably wouldn't have been VHS. It would have probably been DVD. Like as a teenager, like in the mid to late 90s. That was the first time that I saw like anything that wasn't like the edited for TV version. So that whole bit at the end, it's maybe only like maybe 30 to 60 seconds worth of shots that are cut out, but it's a lot that gets cut out. So I remember watching that when I watched the DVD for the first time. I remember watching it and being, holy, that's different from what I remember from the edited for TV version.
Jamie said she saw it in the theaters when she was 13.
Wow. That would have been a cool
Cool.
one to see in cinemas,
Yeah.
for sure.
Hey, Rain of Horror. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, so Jamie said it was 1986 when she saw it, and when I checked earlier on, it came out it was released in the UK in February 1987. So it reminds you back then there could have been a lot of times there was such a gap between the North American release and the rest of the world release. I was talking about this on a different video recently because this year is the 50th anniversary of Jaws. So like Jaws came out in the summertime in 1975 in the States and North America, but it didn't come out until December that year in the UK. So like a 6-month gap between it coming out.
Wow.
I will say the one good thing about of course the gaps are so that they can do press in all of the different countries, but the one good thing about back then is you didn't have social media to like spoil the plot for you.
Yeah.
Versus now.
Yeah.
You would have
It's
to
like
phone someone,
Yeah, even occasionally when you get like movies that release earlier in Europe or in Asia, then we find out. I'm like, okay, well, I already know what happened in that, so I guess I'll just wait until it hits streaming.
Yeah.
There'll be a movie out for a day, and you go on Twitter, and there's already like gifs of scenes and kills and stuff, and it's like, go away.
Yeah. I remember going on a social media, almost internet blackout for a month or two, just before Spider-Man No Way Home came out, because I was like, I don't want any of this to be spoiled. So I genuinely was just like, I'm going to check my work emails, but I'm going to be off everything else.
Oh, that's horrible.
Poor monkey.
For some reason, I remember that line. I think I might be a few seconds ahead of you guys, but the line he just said there, at least on my screen, says, "Computers are dumb. They only know what you teach them." Like, I don't know why, but I remember that. That's a line that stuck with me. Let me check my my time code. I might have drifted ahead of you guys. Oh no, we're still in sync.
Oh,
Yeah, we just
you
that line
just said the line. Yeah.
that
Oh,
line just
wow,
popped up
okay.
for us.
Weird.
Let me pause it for 10 seconds then. So that'll be the weird because I'm watching a UK DVD, it'll be running at a slightly different frame
You
rate.
could have tried to put it in the other one and send it back the other way.
They're sitting on the couch now. That's where we're at. It's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, it's the sofa bed.
Jimmy says, I saw Jaws at the drive-in when I was 3. It's the reason I am a horror fan. LOL, it's strange, but I remember it quite clearly.
Ah, nice. You remember when you were 3? That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I can, barely remember 3 days ago.
I can remember 3 and 4 because I remember going to see An American Tale in the movie theater and being like 3.5 or 4 when I went to see it, and like being scared that I was going to lose my parent, like my mom I was going to lose my mom because Feifel lost his parents, and I was like,
it's traumatized. Yeah.
I think the first movie I remember seeing in the cinema, I think, was Rocky 5, I think. So what year would that have been? Rocky 5, 1990. So I think I would have been 6, maybe 7. But that was the first one I think I remember seeing. The worst Rocky movie. Or it might have been Rocky 4. No, because that was like 1986. I would have been 3. Maybe it was that, actually.
What was your first movie?
My first movie?
Yeah.
Like in the theater?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Mine was Hercules. Disney's Hercules.
The Disney one.
Probably.
Yeah.
It was probably a Disney movie for me too. I just don't remember what.
My mom took me to go see it.
Yeah, James Woods is brilliant in that. Of all the live action remakes Disney are doing, like that seems like an obvious choice because it's humanoid characters, like, and as far as I know, that's one that didn't. It's not one of the most well remembered ones of that run in the 90s, but like they seem to want to be doing live action or photorealistic remakes of all of their catalog. Like remake that one. Like that would be a good one to do live action.
I think Hercules is announced for a
Is it?
live action remake.
There
Yeah,
you
and
go.
I think for sure the only returning character though is Danny DeVito, which is perfect too because he'll always be the voice of Phil.
James Woods could still play Hades, surely.
I would hope so because he's one of my favorite parts of that movie.
Who did the voice of Hercules? Was that a famous actor?
Oh, it was. He didn't sing the songs, but the voice actor was good too. I can't remember who it is now.
Tate Donovan.
Tate Donovan did the voice?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could maybe still play Hercules. Probably a bit old.
Hey, Gene.
Gene.
Big Rod in the chat was singing. My first movie, technically, it was Batman '89. I was 1.5.
Nice.
Parents told me I was glued to the screen.
I watched that just recently, actually. I watched Batman and Batman Returns fairly recently. Well, probably Batman '89, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. But I forced my family to watch Batman Returns throughout Christmas because I was like, it's a Christmas movie, goddammit, I want to watch it. We're putting that on. As much as I still enjoy them, those two movies specifically, they're a little bit dated. I find the Tim Burton one, like it's very they're very obviously shot on stages, and it's a modern audience notices that a lot more, and not in a positive way. I thought at least that's how I reacted to them, watching them, for the first time in like probably a decade or more. Was they're still good. There's still a lot of atmosphere to them, but it oddly looks cheap because it's entirely shot on stages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, are they eating the monkey?
No, they're eating.
No.
What are they eating?
The monkey.
You've never had
Weird
monkey
because she's
food?
like, "Hey, I just saw the babu die in there. You want me to eat this thing that just came through there?" And I definitely been like, "No, I'm sorry, not gonna go."
I saw the word baboons. I'm reading the subtitles, and I'm like, are they eating that monkey?
No, he cuts a steak in half and like puts one half through the teleporter.
The teleporting, okay.
And then she does like a taste test, and the one that goes through the teleporter tastes awful. So
okay,
a very scientific test. Okay, what bit are you guys at, just to make sure I'm not drifting ahead?
She's eating the other steak now.
Yeah.
I keep drifting ahead. I'm going to pause it. Let me know when you guys are, when she's in the clothes shop buying a jacket.
Okay, she just got in the car. Start reading the subtitles out loud. No, I'm kidding.
Welcome to the live narration of The Fly.
She's so adorable. I love Gina Davis so much. Oh my gosh.
What was it she was in just recently? She was a support in that character, but she was really good in it. Oh, what was it? It was just this year, last year.
She was just in
Blink
Twice.
Blink Twice, yeah. Blink Twice. She was good in that.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
She's buying a jacket.
Awesome. Right, I will unpause.
So why does your player play faster?
It's a boring technical reason. Like it's to do with the frame rates of UK players versus American players, like 25 versus 30. So over the course of a long enough time, it's something like it ends up being 94% of the speed. For some reason, although my DVD player just froze, so I might need to like stop it and jump in and find you guys. Hang on.
Oh no.
I paused it when she picked up the jacket, and now it's now it's not moving. So you guys talk amongst
just
yourselves.
said the
Let me
word cock.
figure this out. There we go. Okay.
You're a goddess. Thank you for making my most paranoid fantasies come true. That's where we're at.
Yeah, this guy.
Ronnie, you've got to talk to me.
This guy's such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it earlier, but he just broke into her apartment and took a shower.
Yeah. He's this guy's very much got Ellis vibes from Die Hard, like 80s douchebag neckbeards.
Yep.
Like,
I just can't. Okay, who keeps funding him with these monkeys? Like, why didn't they start with like a mouse or a rat or a squirrel or something?
it was the
Something you can go
80s. You
outside
could
and
get
grab
away with a
for
lot more.
free.
Well, the monkey's alive though.
Also, the monkeys have the closest thing to human DNA, right? So I'm sure.
I do get that part of it, but I feel like he should he's trying to run before he's crawled. Because all now I keep thinking about is how violent they can be, and I'm thinking about Nope, and what if the monkey had come out and just started attacking them immediately?
Yeah. That scene in Nope scared the crap out of me. With the
Yeah.
monkey.
Hmm?
The Nope. The monkey.
Oh yeah. That was
so
terrifying.
unsettling. Oh my god. Gizmo, what are you talking about, dude? You're unhinged. I love it.
You wonder, so if they did meet for the first time and fall in love in this movie, you wonder, what's because they shoot movies, usually out of sequence, but you think, have they fallen in love in real life yet? You wonder, how and when does it happen,
Well,
Yeah.
they were in one other movie before this. They were in the Transylvania, was it Transylvania 5000 or something like that? But I don't know which one was filmed first.
So they could already be married here.
The Transylvania 5000, I've got a pretty good movie knowledge, but that's one I've never heard of.
I think is that a Mel Brooks movie? No, it's not.
Rudy DeLuca.
Okay. I've seen the cover. I've never seen the movie.
What's it called? The Transylvania
5000.
Transylvania 5000. Nice.
Is he okay? He started panting really heavy.
Yeah, he just woke up.
Just the off-camera dog.
Yeah, he just started panting he's oh.
He's excited.
Really, really hot.
Actually, just thinking now, this without seeing a list in front of me, I think this might be my favorite Cronenberg movie.
I haven't seen a lot.
I think it's the most digestible for sure.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably what I think it might be a lot of people's favorites.
Yeah. The Brood is really good too. I watched it for the first time a few years ago, and I thought it was awesome. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be a movie I'm going to revisit all the time.
Yeah.
Dead Ringers is really good too.
Aside from the dated look of the wardrobe and stuff, the clarity in the picture is really, really good. I'm loving that aspect of it.
I think are you talking about the copy of The Fly you were watching, Quana?
Yeah.
Are you renting or do you own?
I'm renting for now.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if I need to buy it and add it to my collection at the end of this.
So for a DVD copy that's been upscaled to HD on my player. It's holding up fairly well. The telltale sign is though the subtitles, the captions, like you can tell with the upscaling, they're jaggy at the edge, so that's how you can always tell if it's being upscaled. But the picture seems fine. Yeah, like I've got the reason it's the DVD copy and not the Blu-ray that's in this case is this is a region A. This is a North American steelbook, and the player I've got in my wee cupboard office place is it's not a multi-region player, so I had to dig out the old DVD copy to watch. Although in saying that, it is on Disney Plus as well, so I could have loaded it up on that. But I feel like I need to continue to fly the flag for physical media.
Jamie says Transylvania was 1985, so it was before both.
I reckon they probably were a couple by then, and that's why they've got such good chemistry right from the start.
Yeah.
I mean, they ended up doing 3 movies together. This one, that one, and Earth Girls Are Easy.
Oh yeah, Earth Girls Are Easy. Yeah, was that after this?
I think that was after this. I think.
Is that a real monkey?
The fly's there. Dun, 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 dun.
See, I don't even know what the fly means. Like, I have no idea what this movie's about.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the most optimal viewing conditions to watch a movie for the first time.
I know we were gonna watch it yesterday, but we
To pre-watch it, yeah, but we just didn't. That's okay.
Yeah, drink teleporting should not be allowed.
Oh my gosh! Why? I hate when people do dumb stuff in movies. But you could not pay me enough.
He's going in the machine, and the fly's in there too.
Yeah.
That's what's
This is why I could never be a scientist, because I'm scarred from movies like this. I would have to be like, I need to be like number 100. I don't need to be the first of anything. I need you to have tried it lots of times before you roll it out on me.
Yeah.
I remember watching one of those, like, this was years and years and years ago, watching one of those like random YouTube pretend connected universe videos where they talk about how Skynet and Terminator was in part invented by an assistant who worked with Seth Brundle because of the whole transporting biological material, and that whole rule, the rule that's in The Fly kind of lines up with the rule that's part of Terminator lore. So it's one of those movies where people are like, so Seth Brundle's assistant in the lab somewhere ended up being one of the founders of Skynet because he stole his research on how to transport biological material from one place to another. And then he just figured out the time travel part as well. So in an alternate universe somewhere, The Fly and the Terminator exist in the same timeline.
Jamie's asking if any of us has seen the OG and says it's not that good. This remake is one of the best remakes ever.
Yeah, I have seen it and agree exactly. It's the box set that came in. Don't know if Jamie saw that at the start. The box set of The Fly that came in this cool wee package here has like all versions of it. So there's the you've got, let me just crack it open. So you've got The Fly from like the 50s, Curse of the Fly, and then is there a third one in there? Yes, you've got Curse of the Fly, Return of the Fly, and then The Fly, Return of the Fly, and Curse of the Fly, and then you've got this one we're watching, and then The Fly 2 with Eric Stoltz. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah. So technically 5 movies in the Fly franchise.
I have not seen the OG, Jamie.
Yeah, me neither. I've seen bits of it, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, of all the movies in the world that you could watch, if you've not, I wouldn't be in a hurry to watch it. But if you do enjoy this one, it is worth checking out the sequel just once, just so you can see where they took the story. Some of the effects, some of the gore in part 2 are quite impressive. I do remember that. Like,
What year is the sequel?
ooh, don't know. Does it say on the disc?
90s?
Early 90s, I
I
think.
think maybe 1990, 1991. I don't know if it says it on the disc.
Okay.
Okay, the disc says 2006, but that's probably just when this disc was released.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on, 1989.
Hmm.
So just what, 2-3 years after this?
Ryan has not seen the OG, but I could believe the remake is far superior. I love this movie. The Thing is my favorite remake of all time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think touched on that earlier, like the Thing and The Fly, both remakes of like campy 50B movies that are like beloved by like a whole generation. Just noticed as well, they both pretty much have the same haircut.
That's funny.
Which is like, so does she have a guy's haircut or does he have a girl's haircut?
You
Shit,
wanna have
probably
matching
not
hair,
allowed
Abby?
to say that these days. My bad.
I can grow your hair. My hair out that long.
No,
Yeah.
you might. Your hair gets long,
Yeah.
and then you cut it.
Yeah.
I probably had, when I let my hair grow during lockdown, it was probably quite similar to Jeff Goldblum's there. Yeah, I totally let the beard and the hair grow. Like, you know, had a homeless chic was my look for lockdown.
Hmm.
Jamie says The Fly 2 was 1989. I saw that in theater too. LOL. Jamie, you sure have seen a lot of movies in theaters like a true movie buff that you are.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know we was getting a little bit of a glimpse of the girls. Oh, word.
I mean, for a movie that's very clearly, 18 or R-rated, it's they kind of, they don't show too much of that side.
No.
There's plenty of gore, but there's not that much blatant nudity.
No.
I mean, you see his butt just as much as you see her butt, probably.
I know he's got to cover them things up. No, it's scandalous.
What's he doing? Just flexing? Working out? What's happening? Is he not able to do this before or something? He's got superpowers?
Yeah, I think that's the
Huh.
I'm trying to say, I can't really tell on my copy,
This is
but
the
I'm
Spider-Man montage.
yeah. So that shot there is probably one of the shots where if they do bring out a 4K, it's going to be very obvious that that's not Jeff Goldblum doing the gymnastics. Because like in the 80s when they're shooting things like that, and they're like, yeah, we'll keep it wide, we'll keep it soft focus. No one will be able to tell. They're obviously not realizing, in 40 years' time there'll be like 4K cams where you can see the pores on everyone's face.
Yeah. We just
Like-
watched a movie where it was very obvious that there was a different girl swinging on the pole. But it was the Ashley Benson movie.
Oh.
And the girl was literally did a little spin on the pole, and you could clearly say it wasn't her face, it was someone else's. And they did a horrible job at covering it up. Look at him go.
Or is that him? I can't really tell on that copy. Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
going to
really
go.
tell either.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that wasn't him. As much as Jeff
Jamie, I
Goldblum
like his
was
butt.
him. chest-bearing Jeff Goldblum. It's like that shot in Jurassic Park when he's got his shirt halfway undone and he's just sitting there on the table. He's like,
Yep.
there's no reason for you to have your shirt undone like that.
He's
And
like,
there's
I
no-
gotta remind the people of what
Yeah,
I'm
exactly,
what I'm working with.
I don't need to have my shirt undone, and I don't need to be sitting like this, looking all suave and sexy, but I'm going to.
He's like oiled up in like Jurassic Park too. He
Yeah.
like glistens in that light.
We should watch Jurassic Park soon.
Yeah, I know. I want to watch it.
That's Jurassic Park's my favorite movie of all time.
Is it?
Yeah, that's 99% of the time that ends up being number one. Yeah,
Yeah. Haven't seen it in a long time.
I saw
Haven't
it.
either.
I saw it 7 times in the cinemas when it came out. Like 7 weeks in a row.
Oh,
It was,
wow.
Like it came out when I was 9 or 10, and I was already like I was into dinosaurs for like a good year or two before it came out. So like it couldn't have came along at a better time for me. Like it was already my favorite movie of all time before I'd even seen it.
And that movie
Dinosaurs
came out
freak me
the.
out. I
that
never
movie
went
came
through a
out
dinosaur.
the.
I never went through a dinosaur phase because I was always terrified of the idea of like dinosaurs and like, okay, so like we're just walking around with dinosaurs now. Like what's happening? Like they're gonna eat us, people. Stop.
I mean,
But
yeah,
the
that's
movies are good.
that's generally the model of the Jurassic Park franchise. So if you guys were put on the spot, what would you say was your number one movie of all time? Go.
Army of Darkness.
Ooh, good choice.
Same, you're on the spot.
Sam,
First
Sam's
thing I-
frozen in
I
thought.
know.
We'll come back to Sam Kwana. Go.
Of all time. I don't know. Maybe okay. There's 2 answers, maybe. Slumdog Millionaire, maybe, but also The Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Interesting. So Shawshank's probably on a lot of people's top lists, but I would say Slumdog is probably not. That's an interesting one. I mean, I like both movies. I think the score for Slumdog is brilliant. The cue, one of the main cues for that, I can't remember what it's called, but it's one of the most beautiful pieces of film music, like of ever. It's really good. I really like the score for Slumdog.
Yeah.
I think if we're talking horror, like I would obviously say Friday the 13th, 2009 is my jam. I love that movie. If I'm thinking non-horror, I don't know, maybe 10 Things I Hate About You. I
Okay.
love that movie.
Interesting.
Good one. If I was going horror, I always say Scream because I think that was the movie where I was like, okay, this is fun. Because I'd always watched, well, I don't know. I would say Scream, but maybe the original miniseries.
Oh,
I can put that movie on and watch Tim Curry play Pennywise any day of the week, and I'll be a happy person.
yeah. It's
I
really
haven't seen that.
impressive how much they managed to make that movie scary, given the restraints of network TV or cable TV or whatever it was. It's really impressive how they managed to make that movie that scary without, well, more or less remaining, PG.
Yeah.
Scream's a good shout. Scream is my stepdaughter's favorite movie, and has been for a couple of years. I've probably watched that movie more as a dad with her than I did like when it came out, 25 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's so we're both very much looking forward to Scream 7 coming out because we're both big fans of the franchise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive. Tidy whities or tidy greys he's got on.
Say we saw a bulge.
We did. Yeah.
See a little wiener.
Jeff strikes me as the kind of guy who doesn't need to stuff.
It's all real.
He's very much got big D energy.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm comfortable in my sexuality to say that. You know, he's got, you know,
Yeah.
he strikes me as the kind of guy who's, you know, confident with what he's got going on.
Most definitely.
I mean, if you're at a urinal and he happens to be standing next to you, I'm taking a look.
Jamie's going with Blue Velvet. I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
As your favorite movie of all time? Yeah, that's it's a niche one, but like, you know, I would imagine that's on a, you know, a fairly, in terms of like the niche movies, that's not an unheard choice for people to put their favorite. I think a lot of people see that at a certain time in their life, at a certain age, and just it's one of the first kind of like off the wall movies that they've seen, and it just clicks with them because, you know, you've maybe grown up watching, you know, maybe nothing but like family friendly movies or Disney movies, and even you've maybe seen a few standard horrors. You've maybe seen The Fly, you've maybe seen things like RoboCop and things like that. And as much as they're adult movies, they're fairly straightforward. But then you watch something like Blue Velvet, and you're like, this hits different. This hits different.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw someone on TikTok today talking about like what's a movie that you enjoy, you think it's a good movie, but you would never watch it again because of kind of like how much it messes with your mind. And I immediately thought of Requiem for a Dream.
That's
Yeah.
mine too. Oh my god.
I was like, good movie. I will never watch it. I was messed up for weeks after seeing that movie in college.
Yeah, so that's not my answer to that question, but I do love that movie. But I have watched it multiple times. I studied film and media at university, and that was one of the papers that I wrote was on Requiem for a Dream. So like I've literally studied that movie. It's a brilliant movie. But my answer to that question, what movie have you watched that you'll never want to watch again, even though it's a good movie, is Manchester by the Sea. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
No, I've never heard of it.
Nope.
Oh,
Casey Affleck, right?
yeah. So Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams, Casey Affleck won the Oscar. I think she did as well. I mean, both deservedly so. It's such a heart-wrenching movie. It's so good. The performances are so brutal and so real. It's a brilliant movie. I would recommend anyone to watch it, but I will never
What's it
watch
called?
it again.
Manchester
It's
what?
Manchester by the Sea.
I'm gonna put that on my watch list.
Yeah, it's brilliant, but it's quite harrowing. It's like if you've got kids, it's a tough watch. But yeah, brilliant movie, love it. I'll never watch it again.
I felt the same with Requiem for a Dream. I came out crying after watching that movie. And I was like, it was horrible. And then I was like, I gave it a 5-star. Ew.
Just you guys, did they just break the guy's arm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just checking we're at the same bit. Yeah,
That was my ew.
something. Yeah, I figured that. Something that I do remember every time I've watched this, even the first time I watched it, like when he's sitting eating the chocolate bar, eating the candy bar, like he's very obviously not eating it. Like they're doing that. They're doing that thing just to make sure there's no like glaring continuity errors where he's just like he's miming eating the chocolate bar, and you're like, everyone can see you're not actually eating that.
His skin.
Big Rod says, time for me to commute. You guys will probably wrap up before I get home. Just wanted to say thank you for the stream. No problem, Big Rod.
Thanks very much for tuning
Yeah,
in.
be safe on your drive.
Yeah. Blue Velvet is a 1986 movie by David Lynch. David Lynch is my favorite director. Big Rod's favorite is either Scream or Candyman for horror and Rad for other genres.
So when you saw Blue Velvet for the first time then, would you have been like a teenager, like 14, 15, 16, something like that, if my theory holds up?
Oh, Bo's here.
Hey.
Hope Sam's enjoying the fly. Yeah. Gonna see where it goes. I'm curious.
It's a very seductive leg opening that she does there. Maybe
Oh, she's just doing it now.
Okay, I may be a
Oh,
second.
there's a little booby too.
Yeah. Just had a random thought as
naked.
well, talking about like movie universes, like pretending that they exist in the same universe. Seth Brundle could be a descendant of Hugh Jackman's character in The Prestige, or the David Bowie character, even Tesla, because
Yeah.
No, you got a woman. Stop.
they're developing the same technology.
Kwana.
I'm sorry. It's like, Jeff, you're being bad. Don't do this.
But he's all hopped up on all that candy that he just ate, though.
Oh my.
Oh yeah,
Like, who is this girl? Where'd she come from?
He picked her up
This is-
from the bar.
Oh, okay.
Gina Davis wasn't putting out anymore.
this is where he's trying to convince her to go through the teleportation device, telling her it'll make her feel sexy. Ah, this is the line, yeah.
He's gonna throw her in there. Oh.
Let me know what line you guys are at, because I think I've skipped ahead again.
The girl just left.
Yeah.
Why'd you scare her off? Jealous?
No, we're pretty much, yeah, we're pretty close.
Okay. Never been much of a bather.
I remember reading like, an off-the-wall review of for this, like way back in the day, where the guy was convinced that this was just like a fever dream of a boy going through puberty.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting.
Like he had this whole this whole thesis on how like all of this is just like a 14-year-old boy's fever dream when he's going through puberty. Like, you know,
Wow.
crazy.
That works.
Yeah, it does. Like, you know, it's a lot of the movie like does tie in with that thesis. Apart from the literal teleportation. He's fake eating again.
Yeah, he's taking the littlest nibbles.
Not you screaming and pointing in her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get past the toxic masculinity in his relationship. You're like, I mean, first of all, you're destroying monkeys and baboons, and now you're shouting at your girlfriend. I mean, come on.
Jamie
See?
says I saw.
He found
go
the
ahead.
right woman, because I would be like, okay, bet I won't come back.
Jamie says I saw Blue Velvet in the theater with my mom. I was 13. It was quite awkward, but she knew I could handle it.
I mean, yeah, but so that kind of tracks with my theory, then, yeah.
I've been a huge fan of David Lynch since I was 8, and our second grade teacher showed us The Elephant Man in class.
Oh wow, that's
I remember being shown Elephant Man in school at roughly the same age as well, yeah.
oh wow.
You guys got to watch good movies in school.
I was like, yeah, there was definitely no teacher showing us the Elephant Man when I was in school.
No.
I don't know what The Elephant Man is.
It's the John Hurt, David Lynch movie from the mid-80s, I think.
Mhm.
A lot of people are put off by it. They think it's a much older movie than it is because it's black and white. But it's
Yeah.
about
Oh.
the true story of the guy with the deformed face.
Oh, okay. So this
As a testament to the range of the filmmaker, though, because David Lynch can make a movie like The Elephant Man and then make a movie like Blue Velvet, like which could not be. They could not be two more different movies. But
This is gross. I hate nails, like fingers and stuff.
Ew, it pops. That's so nasty.
Yeah.
that reminds me of when I got my finger jammed on the inner hinge of a big weighted fire door, and pretty much that happened to my
Don't
fingernail.
squeeze it.
Like
Don't
it just
squeeze
Yeah.
Don't
Like-
squeeze it. Oh my gosh. Don't leave it alone.
Yeah.
This was me when I was watching The Substance. I was like, no, stop. Don't do it.
The thing that bugged me the most in The Substance was the needles. I don't do needles. I hate them.
the thing that bugged me the most with The Substance was the lack of instructions. They weren't that detailed. I was like, if I'm going to be doing this, I want like pages and pages. I want YouTube tutorials.
Like
Like,
the
there was, like-
diagrams,
there was-
something.
Yeah. Oh, I want diagrams. You know, like there was like 3 words, and you're supposed to just figure. And I'm like, I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out, but I want like IKEA level of instructions.
Big Rod's got a stoplight question. What's everyone's favorite Cronenberg film?
This, I would say, The Fly. Yeah, I think, like you said, Brendan, it's probably one of his most accessible films. Like, it's a fairly straightforward chronological story that's not too out there.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
haven't
going to
seen
have
enough
a
of
great
them.
answer. It's probably going to be the Fly after we finish watching it. But prior to that, I would say The Dead Zone, just because I'm a huge Stephen King fan. So like I pretty much like read and watched every single thing. So that would have been like my favorite before this. Just because I'm a fan of the book and the movie together.
Right.
Okay.
Our headphones are dying. We're gonna have to switch headphones. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
You guys can keep talking.
No worries.
I'll go grab my headphones.
See, you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to listen. I tell you that you were about to turn into an insect, and you just this is what you get. Now you got to go beg for her forgiveness.
As for like my Cronenberg film, like there's a few I haven't seen yet. Like I haven't seen Scanners all the way through, and I haven't seen Crash yet. And there's those couple gangster movies too. I haven't seen Eastern Promises, but I did watch A History of Violence.
Yeah, I was going. History of Violence would probably be my second favorite. I think.
Yeah.
And again, that's a fairly accessible movie as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Eastern Promises, like I think he made them back to back, didn't he, with Viggo Mortensen? So they're quite I mean, they're like spiritual sequels, even though they're not actual direct sequels. But I do like A History of Violence. Yeah. I think of all the movies, I've not seen Crimes of the Future. Was that the last movie he made? I'm just having a quick sneak at his IMDb.
The Shrouds.
The Shrouds is his next film,
Right.
or he's
Right.
made it, and it's been a TIFF, but it hasn't gone out to a wider audience.
Right. Ooh, it's only got a 5.6 so far on IMDb.
Yeah,
That's not a great sign.
I
Danger-
heard. No, I heard
Dangerous
somebody.
Method. I've seen that one. Yeah.
I heard somebody on the radio saying that it was kind of what you expect from a Cronenberg movie. So I think if you go in with different expectations, maybe you might not enjoy it.
Yeah. Existence is one I remember. Like, it's definitely, like I said, not my favorite, but I do remember quite liking that. Like, that's one of his more out there movies. The Jude Law and I can't remember the actress's name, but I vividly remember the scene in the restaurant where he like assembles a gun from the bones of a chicken. You're just like, it's that will make zero sense to anyone who's not seen the movie, but it makes sense if you've seen the movie.
Yeah, I just picked that up this year on 4K because I think Vinegar Syndrome put it out, but
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's I enjoyed it, but it's not a. I remember when they brought that. I remember when they announced that. I was like, "Do I want to buy that?" And then I thought I'd kind of decided against it because I saw it when it first came out, and I haven't watched it since, and I've not been keen to watch it since. Whereas, like Eastern Promises, I own the DVD of History of Violence. I think I've got a DVD and the steelbook of it. Like, those are movies that I want to own so that I can watch whenever I want. Whereas Existence, not so much. It was cool, but you know.
Oh gosh.
Bo's favorite is The Fly, and then Shivers. Ryan's is The Fly.
Shivers.
Existence.
Don't know if I've seen that one.
That's his first movie.
I love The Dead Zone.
Oh, from way back in the
Scanners
day.
is so good. Skip
Yeah, so
Crash.
Shivers is takes place in the 70s, and it's
Crash is a car.
about a parasite that only like passes from person to person through like sexual acts and stuff.
Yeah, I barely remember Shivers, but I do know that we had it recorded on a VHS. And so I know that I've seen it several times, even though I don't remember what was on behind it, but I must have blocked it out because I feel like my dad watched it a lot.
I've just opened up the IMDb for Shivers, and the one line synopsis that they've got for IMDb: the residents of a suburban high-rise apartment building are infected by parasites that turn them into mindless nymphomaniac fiends.
Yep.
You say your dad like that movie?
Ugh.
I mean, that's an interesting
Definitely.
way. That's an interesting
sure
concept.
I'm sure he liked the end scene of that movie.
Have you seen Eastern Promises?
I haven't seen Eastern Promises.
Jamie says that might be her favorite.
Yeah, it's good if you like A History of Violence, you'll like Eastern Promises. Like I said, they're not related at all, but they do feel like Eastern Promises does feel like a spiritual sequel to A History of Violence.
Okay. All right, we gotta switch our headphones quick, so we'll lose you for a sec.
Yep.
No worries.
Ready?
Yep.
So, what would you say your worst movie of 2024 was then, Quana?
Worst of 2024. There were a lot of bad ones last year. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be generous and say, what would I say regarding like if it was a B movie or if it was in theaters? Gosh, what did I see last year? I got blocked out last year.
Okay, maybe not your worst, but what was the movie that you were disappointed in the most? Like, what were you expecting to be better?
Oh, a lot of movies. I don't know that. Well, I shouldn't say. I was going to say Moana too, but I don't know that I was expecting that to be better. I think I was probably on par with what I expected from it.
Right.
But
I've
Moana
still not seen that yet.
was bad. Wicked. I was disappointed in Wicked. I was disappointed in. Despicable Me 4 was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was probably because both myself and the two younger kids, like we've enjoyed all Despicable Me's and both Minions movies, but Despicable Me 4 was definitely it wasn't up to the standard of the usual Despicable Me movies.
Pick up themselves.
Atlas was pretty bad to me. I was not.
Which
and
one?
not that I think because of Sterling K. Brown and Simu Liu, I was expecting it to be a little bit better.
Yes.
But they weren't given enough to do to make it better, to combat how much time we had to spend with J-Lo on the screen.
I remember watching Atlas. I didn't do a video review for it, but I did take notes because I was potentially going to be doing a video review for it. And yeah, J-Lo was in a different movie than everyone else. Like she was everyone else got that it was like, a tongue, like I don't want to say like a tongue-in-cheek throwaway sci-fi movie, but like Sterling K. Brown was acting in one version of the movie. Simu Liu was barely in it. And then J-Lo was in a completely different movie from everyone else.
Yeah. And you can tell something happened on that set, because the way that they were during press, it was very comical to watch them interact when they were doing press for that movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Probably, okay, probably the movie that I was slightly hopeful for, just because there are not a lot of like bigger budgeted horror films with like black cast, was The Deliverance. And the fact that they managed to get oh my gosh, like the caliber of actresses in that movie, and then it was just like so comically bad, was disappointing. Probably that and Hot Frosty were probably two of my least favorite movies.
Hot Frosty. I watched that too.
I was just like, I don't know why I watched it, but I just clicked it on it one day and I was just like, but why? Like, first of all, who made a naked snowman in the middle of this little small rinky-dink town? Now the naked snowman is alive and he can just fix everything. Cool. And it just should have been, if you're gonna have a naked snowman come to life, it kind of should have not been like a made-for-TV PG rated movie. It should have just like gone there and been like very tongue-in-cheek, like, yeah, I can fix everything, including your your sex life, kind of thing. Like, what was the point?
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with it either.
I don't know if you guys heard that, Sam and Brendan. Just when you were switching over there, I was asking Quanta, what was your worst or most disappointing movie of 2024?
Most disappointing movie.
Let me look at my letterbox quick.
That's what I was going
Yeah, you're going to come prepared.
The most disappointing movie was probably, no, I want to say Nosferatu, but like it's not the worst movie, but I was more so disappointed in it. But like the worst movie that I think I watched last year was probably Night Swim. And that's probably not even the worst. It's just the first one that pops to my mind.
I've not seen that one yet.
I forgot about Night Swim.
Yes, see, it's not very memorable.
I think for me, I might. Oh, I had a lot of 1 stars.
Really, you had a lot of 1 stars?
Yeah, they weren't movies that came out last year. They were just ones that I watched for the first time, though.
Oh, okay.
So you want something that came out last year?
Yeah, something that came out in 2024. So like, well, you're finding yours. I've got, so my worst of 2024 was Madam Web. I went to see it on my birthday, and it was not a good birthday movie. So that was the worst of 20. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be good, but it's, when I look back on on my letterbox of everything I rated in 2024, that's definitely the worst. The most disappointing for me, and I get probably catch hate for this, was Furiosa. I am huge fan of Fury Road. Very excited for Furiosa, and was massively disappointed in it. And I probably won't catch that much hate. I don't think. I mean, it tanked at the box office, so I can't be the only one who thought it was disappointing. But yeah, so Madam Web was the worst, and Furiosa was the most disappointing.
I haven't seen either of those yet. I know I've heard a lot of mixed things about Furiosa and Madam Web. Like, I think even before it released, it was getting critical hate. So
yeah, it's not worth watching at all.
I just want I don't know what Sony needs to do, because I think all of the superhero movies are kind of declining a bit because they're running out of new things to give us. But I just need them to get it together over there at Sony. It's sad. It's literally like Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man movies are like the only thing that they're getting right when it comes to superhero stuff, and it's sad.
Yeah, I think from everything I've read in the past, ever since Craven came out and tanked, all the news reports are basically saying that Sony are pretty much giving up on their Spider-Man universe. Like literally, there was a news in Variety, I think yesterday, an article in Variety yesterday. The head of their creative department quit, or something like that. That was the big news. So I think they are. I mean, they're not going to give the rights up, but I think they're giving up on their concept of creating their own Spider-Man universe, at least. Because no one wanted a Madam Web movie, no one wanted a Craven movie. Like these are good characters that could be good in a Spider-Man movie, but no one wanted a solo Craven movie. That's stupid. Venom's the only one that made the money because Venom's such a fan favorite character. But even though those movies made money, they're still not good movies. It's such a popular character that they made money. They made money. They're still not good movies though.
Yeah.
No. And they all went back. They went back on their promise of making it rated R too.
Yeah, yeah.
The movie that disappointed me last year was Something in the Water because I was really looking forward to a new shark movie and I just did not like it.
I don't think I know that one.
And I'm going to change my answer because I didn't go back to the second page of my letterbox. I realized what it was. It was Mea Culpa, the Tyler Perry movie that came out on Netflix. And it's because I don't like Tyler Perry, but I was like, I'm going to give it a try. It's got Kelly Rowland in it. I want to see her do well. Surely they're not going to give a bad movie to Beyonce's best friend. And also, I love Trevante Rhodes. And I was just like, but on the plus side, it was my best rated video for last year. So there you go. A lot of people wanted to bash the movie along with me.
I can't say I've seen that one, but is Trevante Rhodes, is that the guy who was in Moonlight and then Predators as well? Yeah.
Yes.
He was brilliant in Moonlight.
And even he was really good in the Mike Tyson series. He can
that's right. Yeah.
Good material, but then he gets these movies that are just horrible, and it's just like, oh my gosh, you would think this guy couldn't act, but he's been in some really good stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to dive back into The Fly and just kind of check where you guys are.
His teeth are fucking falling out. It's so gross.
He's just looking in the mirror now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm probably 10, 20 seconds ahead. So let me know when Gina Davis is talking to him in the doorway.
Okay. I gotta say hi to Craig. Hey, Craig.
Hey.
Nice to see ya.
Oh, his ear. Oh gosh. Oh.
Joker Foliadu. I don't know how to say that. Was a huge
Oh,
for most
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gina Davis just walked in.
Okay. I'll click play here.
people. I used to watch Joker too.
So I only saw Folie à Deux for the first time like a week ago. My expectations were so low that I ended up not hating it that much.
Is that the one with Lady Gaga?
Yeah. I did the same thing. I waited to see it pretty much until everyone else had reviewed it. So by the time I watched it, I was like, okay, well, it's going to be trash. So that made it a little bit better.
Yeah,
but I was just like,
it was still trash, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a steaming pile of trash. It
was a waste of having Lady Gaga in your movie. And
yeah, like she was good in it. She was good in it.
She needed more to do.
Yeah.
I didn't see Furiosa yet. I'm also a big fan of Fury Road, one of my favorites. I have not watched it because I didn't think that we needed a prequel for Furiosa. I would have rather seen a continuation of something.
100%, yes.
Is Fury Road the one you tried to get me to watch?
Yeah.
Fury Road is absolutely amazing. Probably one of the like top 10 action movies of like top 5.
I felt like I was on crack watching it. I couldn't do it.
It's funny, my partner's the same. She did not like that movie at all. And I was like, what the is wrong with you? Like, but she just didn't like it at all. But like I think it's a masterclass in action filmmaking. And one of the big movie magazines over here, Empire Film Magazine, like I think they voted it the best movie of that decade. Like the best movie of the 2010s was Fury Road. Making a prequel to it almost 10 years later is a gamble, and it just didn't pay off. Like you said, like I would have much rather seen a sequel. Like it didn't have to have Max in it. I'm fine with a Furiosa movie, but I think a Furiosa sequel with Charlize Theron would have been much better than a prequel, because I don't think, as much as Anya Taylor-Joy is a good actress in certain roles, I don't think she did a good job in Furiosa.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you liked Fury Road, Quana, I wouldn't be in a hurry to see Furiosa because it's shite.
Yeah, I love Anya Taylor-Joy, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, no, I kind of just want to see Charlize Theron be this character again and see
Yeah.
what happens to her after she rides off. That's what I want to see. I don't really care about how she got there because I loved what we got with her.
Yeah, like the entire movie Furiosa could have been a 10-minute flashback sequence in a sequel with Charlize Theron. It
Yes.
didn't need to be its own movie.
Oh, ouch.
But yeah,
I got Sam like 10 minutes into like Fury Road, and she's like, "I'm gonna go watch something else." I'm like, "Oh my god, you haven't seen the guy in like the band and the big trucks, and he's
Yeah.
playing guitar and the flames shoot out." I'm like, it gets me so jacked up. Like,
yeah, it's that track from Tom the composer, Junkie XL, or Tom Holkenborg, I think he just goes by his real name now. Like that track, Brothers in Arms from the soundtrack, that's on my gym playlist 3 times. Because it totally is like, you don't need pre-workout, just listen to that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay,
I mean, dude, just do what she's telling you to do. Like, what are you?
what about you guys at?
Ooh, he's so creepy. He's looking over at the building.
They're in the alleyway, and she just left the building. Is like, I want to basically like abort the.
I keep skipping ahead. I'm going to pause it again. They're talking to the doctor just now about an abortion. So let me know when you get to that.
Yeah, they just got to. Is this the doctor?
Yeah, they just got to the clinic.
Right.
Saying she's pregnant and she wants to have an abortion. In the
Yeah,
middle of the night.
that's where I am. Okay. I mean, if you really wanted to like stir the pot and kick the hornet's nest, you could bring this argument up in a pro-life, pro-choice debate.
Nope. Nope. I think we're good. We don't need a politically driven channel, I don't think. I give this movie balls for like doing it in such a time when that's not really talked about.
Like,
Yeah.
no, like just get that baby. Take it out.
God, she looks so young.
She does. She looks so young.
Like that shot of her face there, you're like, oh, she's a baby.
And it's blowing my mind because I didn't realize she was 40 when she did Long Kiss Goodnight. And she looks so good in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, she's gorgeous. I love Gina Davis. Like,
yeah, she's very like statuesque beauty.
Yes. One of my top 10 probably is A League of Their Own.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I love her in that movie.
Her skin is like baby skin in this.
Yeah.
Oh, especially beside
that
Brundlefly's skin.
I'm just reading on the IMDb on the trivia page. They're talking about it took 5 hours to apply the most extensive stages of makeup.
Oh, that's not horrible.
Okay, I know nothing in here is super, super new to horror, but I'm getting a lot of Candyman vibes, like a lot of inspo from this movie that inspired Candyman, especially like breaking her out of the doctor's office.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're all kind of like derived from like the Dracula romance horror, aren't they? Like. I mean, Jeff go.
I'm sorry, no, Seth, the baby's got to go.
But even,
it might come out as a larva. That's just no. You can't mentally, you can't come back from that. You can't come back from pushing a larva out of your body and looking at that.
I think Jeff Goldblum doesn't get enough credit for his actual acting in this movie. Like the way he's acting and delivering those lines through all of that makeup, like you can see his eyes, and that's it. you know, everything else is makeup, but like you totally feel for that guy. Like,
He looks so sad
Yeah.
Mhm.
and monstrous.
I definitely could see in a few years someone putting a DVD with this and The Substance together.
yep,
Mm.
with better instructions. Yep.
Yeah. Neither one of them had good instructions for how this stuff was supposed to work. I mean,
No.
he just did not do enough trial. He should have done more trial runs.
Wonder if they'll ever do a remake of this, like a remake, like a second remake of this. Like,
Oh, I hope not. I don't think you need to.
no.
It's really well made, but if they were, I vote for them casting. Who could do this? Who could be Jeff Goldblum? I feel like
Who could-
Nicholas Hoult could do it, but he's
Ooh, that's a good show. Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
in so much, but I feel like he could do it.
Did you see Joseph Quinn?
Yeah.
Yep. I could see that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
got the
we could-
crying down. I would say, like the way he was crying in A Quiet Place Day One.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
He would have like a good like awkward but like enthusiasticness about him. Especially from that like Stranger Things season
Mhm.
he was in.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
It's Gina Davis's ex-boyfriend.
No, like the actor. He looks familiar.
I don't know.
I don't know why.
I do remember being grossed out by this shot. I'm probably a second or two ahead of you guys, but you'll know it when you see it.
Oh, he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
jumped.
Like, let me know when the bone starts showing through, and I'll
Yeah,
play.
he just spit out nastiness.
Yeah.
Ew.
Why is it melting his hand? See, I don't know enough about flies.
Like
That's how
like
flies.
acid.
That's how flies eat. They puke up acid on their prey that
Ew.
melts them, and then they drink it.
I did not know that.
I only know
me
that
neither.
from this movie. Like, so,
He's puking on the leg now.
yeah, we're at the same bit. Yeah, that's good.
Definitely melt through his leg a lot faster than his hand.
Oh gosh! Don't do it! Don't stop!
Like, I wonder. I don't think I've ever watched this with commentary, but
If
there
you
is a
do it in his
commentary
face,
track
I'm
on
going
the
to beat you,
DVD.
Jeff. Don't do it.
Like, at this stage, when he starts like pretty much trying to murder the ex-boyfriend, that's really when he crosses the line to be like, you know, well, you're being a blatant bad guy now. Like, you're trying to kill someone. You know, like, I wonder if that was like a conscious choice for the filmmaker when they were making it. Like, do we need to make sure that he crosses a line so that we can justify what ends up happening to him? You know.
Mm.
Just like, you know, a lot of like, kind of mainstream Hollywood movies, like when they've got a bad guy that isn't really that much of a bad guy, they always have to have that one scene where, like, oh, he's really bad because he did this. But if you take that one scene out, you're like, well, you know, he's not actually that bad. He's got a point.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Winnie the
Girl,
Pooh.
find something to bust him beside his head with.
Kinda, yeah.
It's they were all kids once kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't he just say, "Don't kill the baby"? It might be the only thing. And now he's like, "Oh yeah, we're just going to take this risk. What's going to happen? We're going to risk it, even after I just begged you not to get rid of the baby." Like, he's lost the plot.
Ah, that's gnarly.
His twitching is like gross.
Yeah.
Oh. Take off his jaw.
I mean, for a movie that's almost 40 years old, like these effects are holding up pretty well.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean. Like, I don't think there's really any particular reason to remake it.
No,
yeah,
it doesn't look. It doesn't look super bad at all. Oh my gosh!
yeah.
Oh my gosh! Stop. As much as I love horror movies, this is how I watch most of them.
You listen to horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at the like this. This totally holds up. All these effects.
Now
are,
he
like,
got her inside. Oh my gosh!
of course, I say they hold up. If I was to show this to like one of the older kids, they'd be like, "No, it doesn't. It looks terrible."
Yeah.
Jamie says these effects were so gnarly on the big screen.
Oh, this would have been pretty cool to see on the big screen. Oh, the poor ex-boyfriend, man. He's been through it. I mean, that's a long way to go to try and get back with your ex.
Was it worth it?
Well, I mean, it's prime Gina Davis, so yeah.
Yeah.
And assuming he's right-handed, he's still got his dominant hand.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how you know when the movie's working, because we're all supposed to be chatting on a watch along, but we're actually just properly engaged.
I'll just been silent.
No. I am shook.
And Gina Davis as well for her performance in this. I mean, think about having to play that part. You're on a set you're having to act for a start, but not only that, but you're having to show that level of emotion when you've got this like blob in front of you.
Yeah.
It's like, and you're supposed to convincingly act and cry like that's someone you love. Like, I mean, like a lot of times acting in horror
Girl,
doesn't
get
get
him out
enough
of his
credit.
misery. He said, "Take him out." Yeah, do it, girl. Don't let him live like that. That's bad. His eyes aren't even centered. Like, oh, girl, just put him down. Ugh.
And again, much like the start of the movie, they don't waste any time at the end. Once the movie's over, it's over.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
now the question is, did she get rid of the baby?
Oh, you haven't seen The Fly 2?
Huh?
You haven't seen The Fly 2?
I haven't.
So your question is answered in the
Oh.
opening scene of The Fly 2.
Oh.
Now I gotta
Is
go
it-
watch Fly 2.
Is it with Gina Davis? Does she return?
Do you know, that's what I was thinking there. I don't want to spoil the movie, The Fly 2, but I think, if memory serves, I think they have a lookalike and some clever editing, and it's not her. That's my memory of it. But the character of Veronica is in the opening scene of The Fly 2, for sure. And I think they just got a lookalike and kind of cut around her, if memory serves. But if you want to know where the story of it goes, yeah, definitely watch The Fly 2. If I could electronically loan you the DVD, I would put it through the computer just now.
Do you have it?
Yeah. I got it. Yes, Scream Factory put out a box set with all 5 of the movies.
Oh.
I just brought the one up, but I thought they would all be like 2K scans or like 4K scans, but they're not.
I've just quickly checked on IMDb. Yeah, it's not Gina Davis in The Fly 2, but it's someone who looks like her.
Yeah, Jamie just said that too. She's not in it.
Yeah.
Big Rod said Weird Al Yankovic. I can never say his name.
Yankovic, yeah, he's up
Really
there.
missed an opportunity by not making a parody of Betty Davis's eyes called Gina Davis's eyes.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, so Sam, Kawana, thoughts on your first time watch of The Fly?
I liked it.
I liked it. I liked it.
I feel like I probably need a rewatch to get the whole dialogue and story because we were chatting a lot, but it was gross, which is always good.
Yeah. I liked it. I could definitely see myself that being rewatchable. Yeah, it was really gross.
Yeah.
Like a good body horror, but it was really fun. But their performances were really good. I always like when you find a good horror movie from back in the day and it's got really strong actors in it, and now we're always throwing around elevated horror nowadays, but it's been that way all along. It's just kind of they treat it like it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you had me watch Reanimator last year. I think I like this better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would say this is a much stronger movie than Reanimator. And I've just actually, I'm having a look through through the box set here, and there's a second disc that's got special features on it. So I'm going to pop that in and have a look at that later on, because I don't know if I ever actually sat and watched through the special features. So movie nerd to me is going to enjoy that later on.
Awesome.
Nice. I saw there's I forgot that Mel Brooks actually produced this movie. He's a silent producer on the movie, and the Scream Factory Blu-ray has new interviews with him and Stuart Cornfield. There's a new audio commentary with author William Baird.
Has it got the original commentary with Cronenberg on it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a 3-part documentary with David Cronenberg, deleted scenes, storyboards, alternative ending, and the Brendel Museum of Natural History. I don't know what that is, but I'm curious.
That'll probably be just going through all the props that were in the mirror cabinet.
Yeah.
And here's my teeth, and here's my ear.
That was good though. Nice little solid 90-minute movie. I love it.
Yeah.
I love a good 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us for this.
Thanks for having us. Thanks to everyone in the chat for tuning in and listening to us ramble on.
Yeah, this was so much fun.
So what's next for you guys? Do you have any other streams lined up?
We're We're going on a friend's channel, The Bitter Wolf, on Sunday. It's not live though; it's pre-recorded. I don't know. I don't know what we have. I don't think we have too much planned as of right now.
I don't think so either. You're busy at work, so you do all the booking, so you haven't booked anything in.
Yeah, we're kind of slowly booking things in, and then once my work schedule is not so crazy, we'll kind of book ahead more. But yeah, what about you guys?
I've got I don't have any live streams I think planned. I tend to only, in terms of like live streams on my own channel, I try and do once a month, basically, where I just, literally go through my letterbox of everything I watched that month and just chat about that. So I'm 2 months behind on that. So I've either got one really long one to get done, or I'll split it up into two, and then I need to do my my best and worst of 2024. I was supposed to do that this week, but it feels like everyone in the world has just had this like cold virus that's been going around. At least here in the UK and Scotland, and I've just like had zero energy for most of this week. So that's on the list of things to do.
Okay.
Right now I'm watching Mayfair Witches and been doing some not watch alongs, but some discussions and recaps with Tyra from Struggle Reviews and
Oh yeah.
Ashley from My Sweet Perspective and EJ from EJ the TV Junkie. So that's on like Mondays. Other than that, I'm trying to get back to doing like a set live stream schedule, because I used to go live every Monday and watch like B horror movies and movies on Tubi and stuff like that. But I'm trying to pivot to doing movies that are on services like Canopy, like introducing people to more free streaming services through like the libraries and such.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What was that one called? What was that? Canopy?
Canopy.
I don't think I've heard of that.
I do want to say that I looked up that they are available in the UK, I believe. It's free through like a lot of library services if you have like a library card or like from a university or something. And usually they give you like 6 films to watch per month. They do a lot with like A24, so they typically have like a lot of the A24 movies are available, usually up to like 6 months.
Okay.
And a lot of like classic movies, independent movies, international movies are on there. So I'm trying to start going through some of the list of movies that I'm interested in and like posing it to the channel and saying, hey, which ones would you like to, check out? But just trying to introduce like the community to more free streaming services, because it's getting ridiculous, some of these prices that are out here. Trying to top off the services. I have everything and I'm like,
just delete a couple.
Yeah, not to get started on a complete rant, but I'm going to start on a rant. So, talking about, paying for too many streaming services, as much as I collect physical media and spend far too much money on that, I also spend far too much money on all the streaming services. And I hadn't really noticed until last night that Prime Video, even though you're paying for it now, they're showing you ads.
Mm-hmm. Pay an additional $2.99 to get rid of the ads.
So I must have not really used Prime Video for the past couple of months that extensively to really notice it. But last night, I think, so my partner wanted to watch 30 Days of Night. She wanted to show her oldest that, because that's one she really likes that movie, and it kind of it's a good cold snowy January horror movie to watch. And I was like, I couldn't remember if I had that. I thought I had the Steelbook, but I either don't have it or couldn't find it because my collection is stupidly disorganized. But I had a quick look and it was available to watch on Prime. I was like, brilliant, I've got Prime, let's watch that. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Genuinely, it felt like every 10 minutes there was a 5 to 30 second ad.
Yeah.
And the placement just seemed completely random and arbitrary, to the point where I was like, I'm half tempted to just stop watching this, go online, buy the Blu-ray, and just wait a couple of days and watch it when it arrives, because it was honestly ridiculous. That sounds like I'm exaggerating. I would say at least one advert between 5 and 30 seconds every 10 to 15 minutes for that entire movie. and it completely ruined the experience of watching the movie. It was so bad. And I'm like, all this is doing, and the main advert that I kept getting was for like a Ring doorbell. And I'm like, all this is doing is making me not want to ever buy a Ring doorbell. It's having the opposite effect. Amazon. So, Amazon, because you listen to everything. I'm your advertising has had the opposite effect. I will never buy a Ring doorbell because you annoyed the hell out of me when I was trying to watch 30 Days a Night. Ran over, as you were.
Yeah.
It is crazy because we're already paying for it. Like,
Yeah.
Paying so much for it. And I don't mind like watching on like ad-based streaming services if I'm watching like television shows, because you're already accustomed to having ads in those. But when you're watching a movie, it is kind of like it can take, especially if it's not well placed, it can take you out of it. I can get past it if it's a free service, but if I'm already paying for it and now we want me to pay more for it, and everybody's gone up. Netflix has gone up. They used to kind of keep you somewhat grandfathered in. I think it's still less than what everyone else has to pay to get the free no ad service, but it still has gone up like to over $20. Then you've got the Hulu, ESPN, Disney bundle so that you can have Hulu and Disney. It's just so many. Peacock, Paramount. Everybody wants to have a streaming service. You got to have Max so that you can watch, all of the good TV shows, Penguin and everything. So it's so much. So I was like, how can I start like promoting stuff that's free? And I use Canopy for school. And I love it just because that was like how I watched a lot of A24 stuff before they started like showing some of that on, I think HBO now gets A24, but before they had a deal with HBO, you could watch it on Canopy and it's ad free. The only bad thing is you have to watch it within like 48 hours, either 48 or 72 hours. But that's still most of the time, if you sit down and watch a movie, you're going to hopefully watch the movie. So that's like one of my favorite services. I think I watched Past Lives on there and Marcel the Snail and, a lot of the A24 stuff on there.
okay.
One of my friends saw but Marcel the Snail was one of their favorite films that year. Like I've still not seen it, but like they said it was so good. It was so good.
I cried like a baby.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah.
I cried like a baby. They've got a lot of BBC stuff on there as well. Oh, since you have Talk to Me in the background with they've got Talk to Me on there. And a lot of old stuff too, like 1932's Freaks and 1970s Count Dracula with Christopher Lee is on there.
Oh, nice.
So they've got some really good ones on there. And like I said, I like it because it's ad free, so you don't have to worry about it's a lot of movies that are on Tubi and stuff, but you don't have to worry about the ads. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I've just noticed your Terrifier. Is that a Terrifier 3 t-shirt?
Mhm.
So this might end the friendship before it started, but that was one of my disappointments of the year as well.
Oh, I had fun with that.
Oh, no.
Ironically, though, one of my most viewed videos of last year was my negative review of Terrifier 3.
Quana, did you watch Terrifier 3?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. We're gonna do it.
No, you would listen to it, but you wouldn't watch it.
I watched. Now I'm gonna forget the name of it. What's the name of the little anthology that it came from?
All Hallows
Eve.
All Hallows Eve. So I watched All Hallows Eve, and I was like, because I hadn't watched any of the Terrifiers because they started coming out. I went through a phase where I wasn't watching any horror. I say phase, it was like literally like about 11 years, where unless it was a horror movie that I was already like really comfortable with, I wasn't watching any horror because like Hostel, Eli Roth's Hostel had like done me in, and I was like, I'm done. This is it, 2011. Like I'm done. No more after this. And I went back and I watched All Hallows Eve, and I was just like, yeah, no, I don't know if Terrifier is for me. So I'm gonna let that sit on the shelf for a little bit because I'm back now. I'm back in heavy, and I like go to all the movies and everything, but I'm like, that might be too much. So I'm gonna know my limits and wait.
Yeah, that's
So I
fair.
haven't watched any of the full-length movies because I saw all those and I'm like, oh yeah, that might be the thing that might do me in. So I'm gonna stop right now.
Art the Clown's definitely not for everyone.
No.
Yeah, I not to retread my review on it. I think he's a great character. I think it's already an iconic horror character. I want to see him in a better movie. Like, so as much as I didn't like it, and I am intrigued to see where they go with part 4 if they do make a part 4. Like, I'll go and see part 4, and I'll happily be have my mind changed. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. I just wasn't a fan of it. Like, I want to see Art the Clown in a better movie. Like, I'm okay with the gore. That's fine. Like, gore can be fun. I want to see Art the Clown in a better, more polished. When polished isn't the right word. I just want to see that character in a better movie.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate I am in the vast minority with that because I know that most of the world liked that movie.
I really liked it. I love Christmas horror though too, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was sad. I cried at the end.
I mean, that's taking it in
You're
the other
the
direction.
first person I've ever heard say that they cried.
She did cry at the end of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No.
I'm emotional. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
if we were paying attention to this movie the whole time, she would have cried too.
Yeah.
This one
100%.
almost got me. If I could have kept my eyes at the screen a little bit longer, it almost had me because I felt Gina's pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. Oh, are you excited? So since you mentioned Winnie the Pooh, are you excited for Peter Pan?
Yes, but it's not playing here. So we have to, I don't know when we're going to see it, but I'm so excited.
Oh, I don't even think I've seen. Is the trailer for that out yet?
The trailer's out. The trailer came out like maybe 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, I've still not even seen that yet. I don't even know what the UK release schedule is going to be. I'll need to have a Google at that because, again, I don't think they're amazing movies, but I have bought into that whole Monsterverse that they're hoping to do. Like, I've got a really cool glow in the dark steelbook of the first Winnie the Pooh movie, and I have 2 copies of Winnie the Pooh 2 because there was a deal on the German steelbook because it hadn't been released in the UK yet, and I was like, well, I should get that, so I've got it as the collection, and then I had a voucher for Umbrella Entertainment, and I was getting a bunch of stuff from them sent over from Australia, and anytime I'm getting anything from there, I always wait and get a whole bunch of stuff because the shipping from Australia to here is stupidly expensive. So like I'll wait until I've got like 5 or 6 items that I want to get. And they had like a nice box set of Winnie the Pooh 2, of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 that's got like a children's style book that comes with it. But so it's like, like a illustrated children's book, but it's illustrated with like the horror of the movie. So it's quite sick, but quite cool.
I think the trailer for Peter Pan looks really good, like in terms of story wise. I do wish they had a better budget because obviously you can see from the trailer that the budget's not giving, but the story seems better. But I think you can do so much with Peter Pan anyway because the story itself can be horrifying just on its own. I was disappointed in Winnie the Pooh because I thought that the story they came up with was cute. Again, I just think the budget didn't allow them to do what would have been way more interesting with that. And I almost wish that, like with the Winnie the Pooh one, there's that cute little animation that they kind of do at the beginning, or like there's like drawings. I almost wish that they had been able just to tell the story like that.
Did you watch the first and the second Winnie the Pooh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you going to see Peter Pan?
The second one was, I like the second one better than the first one.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to definitely see Peter Pan.
The first one is very cheap at times. Like, it's very much student filmy.
Yeah, I
Well,
didn't
most
like
of
the
the
first
time.
one.
Yeah.
You could tell
Yeah.
the money was doing what it needed to do a little bit better for the second one.
Yeah,
For the second
yeah.
one, the first
Yeah.
one I was like, oh no. And so then the second one came out. I was like, okay, we can rock with this. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the Steamboat Mickey one yet, though. I haven't watched
I don't
that
think
one.
that's not by the same people, but yeah.
That's not a
we
part of
haven't seen it.
the Monsterverse, though. I don't think.
Oh, is it not? I've just had a quick
But
Google.
I feel
so-
like I'm such a traitor because I'm such a Disney adult and I'm watching these movies, and it's supposed to be like, it's such a no. But I mean, you know, hey, you got to do what you got to do for the love of horror, right?
So a quick Google tells me that the Peter Pan one is coming out in the UK, but not until the end of February on a limited release. So that's one of the ones I'll probably, if I don't see that in the cinema, if they bring out a cool looking steelbook, I'll probably get that.
So if you're getting it then, we might get it then too. The end of February.
I don't know if
Yes.
this is yeah, it says February 24th.
Yeah. So a limited release in North America on January 13th.
I was gonna say when I Googled it, I could see one of the movie theaters that's like one town over from me has it on January 13th at 6:30.
Nice. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, the trailer looks good.
I'm going to check out that
Congrats.
trailer later on.
Big Red says Jimmy looks like a Scottish Vincent DeSanti. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. I'm hoping he's a devilishly handsome man. And-
Ryan's dropping your guys' links one last time here. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
And happy birthday again, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, guys. This was
Yeah,
fun.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good fun. Thanks very much, guys.
And thanks
Yeah,
to
it was-
everyone in the chat.
It was nice getting to talk to you guys again, Jimmy. It was nice meeting you.
Likewise, likewise.
I'll be clicking
Yeah.
on your channel all the time so I can listen to your voice. Send you some book and story recommendations so you can do like some readings, some audio books.
Do you send it? I'll read it.
Oh, you should do a series where you're reading Frankenstein. I mean, it's not Scottish, but I feel like that it would give some good vibes.
I mean, I normally I'm against reading. I'm the kind of guy who'll wait for the movie rather than read the book. But if you send it, I'll read it.
Oh, thank you.
Big Rod says he's the director and Jason from the Never Hike Alone movies. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Look him up.
Again, don't know who that is, but I'll assume he's a good-looking guy, so I'll say thanks.
Well, I
And
hope
then
everyone has a wonderful
in my mind, they always will be.
weekend.
I'm never going to look at it just in case.
You don't look exactly like, but yeah, a
Did
little
you look it up?
a little bit. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. But you're much more handsome.
Oh, you're far too kind. You're far too kind. I'll definitely read your book now.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a good evening and everyone enjoys their weekend.
Cool.
And stay spooky.
I'm gonna go see if we got any more snow.
Oh,
Thanks
boy.
again for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.